Alright, it's 5:57 on Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. This will be the Merriam Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting.
Doing a good job. You know, if you would get the company, you could actually get like the, pay partner. You know, they'd give them like $50 versus like violation.
This is a sign that we should have like this.
From the company.
This is what I did for assuming everything for the home. Yeah, exactly. Just like the rest of us, right?
It's hard enough, but it's still power. The lights are on it. I don't know. I understand.
Hey, Katie, how are you? How are you? Well, it'd be better if our technology was cooperating tonight. No, it's not like us right now.
North Kansas City and you'll, 95th Street and how's it shopping center?
I don't like this computer.
Is it Grandview Triangle?
Better.
They tore down the shopping center and Cerner, there's supposed to be a campus there too. They built maybe one building.
I don't know, I don't like it. I can tell you that right now. It keeps
Well,
like.
somebody bought it.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
green.
right. I think that's what you said. I don't know how they afford it.
A lot of empty office space around town, right?
And then Shamrock's building like. I don't understand what it is. He's talking about buying red houses.
I am done.
Making a close street thing. And another building for the launch.
I think it's a big. I think a couple of few buildings there now. On the east side.
Yeah. 'Cause we're doing phase 2 right now. And then we're already talking about phase 3. Within the next year.
Must be putting bodies in there.
Because we're finished.
It'd be risky to build speculative office space right next to
Yeah. Because we only finished four of the 12 musical floors. We only finished 4. So
I'm just doing 5. I can't really push it.
I
I was like, maybe I can email those.
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I have everything.
You know, we Panama.
You have posters. I just ate my pies.
There we go.
I think it's my computer.
Could be.
I don't think it's, I think it's this one.
Long.
It's a long password.
Dude, this girl.
You are
Fort
not
Knox.
cracking my
27
password.
digits.
Oh.
You're not
FBI.
cracking my password.
So one time I had a character that I had to Google. It was an upside down
Question mark.
Oh.
And I had to Google, first of all, what it was, and second of all, how I
How to
put
make
it
it?
on the keyboard.
Yeah, I didn't think that was easy. I guess
Yeah.
But how that
You could
eventually
find them out
happened
there
is a
somewhere.
mystery for another moment, because we're calling this.
Okay.
3 minutes late.
Apologize for our Navy.
Technical error.
It gives us all something to look for. Welcome to the November 26, 2024 meeting of the Park and Recreation Advisory Board of the City of Merriam, Kansas. Just right. It appears we have a quorum.
introduce and welcome new advisory board members.
Yes, we are. So we, if you look around the table, have a couple new faces. Doug Murphy and Alex Supple have recently been appointed to the park board. So as we'd like to do when we have new park board members is I'd like to go around the table. Everybody provide an introduction to who you are, maybe how long you've been serving on the board, if you can remember, and your favorite special event that you have volunteered or attended as a member of the park board. So I know everybody knows me, but I will start as an example. I am Anna Slocum, I'm the director. I have been with the city since October of 2012, so officially celebrated 12 years just recently. My favorite special event is the car show, specifically at 7:30 in the morning when we drop the barricade and open the parking lot, and you get your own private little parade of, at that time in the morning, about 100 classic cars. So that is my special event. We'll go this way.
I'm Abby Hall. Hi. I am, I guess, the guest services coordinator up at the front, so I'm not technically on the board, but I take minutes. And I've been here for 3.5 years almost. And my favorite event is probably the dive-in pool meeting.
Good evening, I'm Christopher Leach. Until we reach item 5 on the agenda, I am serving as chair of the Park and Recreation Advisory Board, my second term. And I've been a member since 2019. And I think my favorite event was when I was shoehorned into a rabbit costume for breakfast with the Bunnets.
I am Dave Smothers. I'm Assistant Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Merriam. Been with the city for 21 and a half years, and be here for a little bit longer. For those of you that are brand new, my nickname is Smo, so everybody calls me Smo. It's because the first 3 letters of my last name. My name's Dave, so whenever I worked for these cities, there was always 2 or 3 Daves. And so right away, professionally, I said, just call me Smo, and then you'll know who we've talked about, and what I'm talking about. So welcome to the board. Oh, my favorite would be the Turkey Creek Festival. I get to run the 5K run in the morning and then help out at the festival at the park. And I normally shuttle bands back and forth, so I get to meet some musicians, and it's a pretty fun day.
Dave, I didn't know this small thing. Should we start calling you small?
Well, you can.
Okay.
Talking about other Davids.
That was a good segue.
What's your nickname, Dave?
Case in point.
Yeah, David. I'm David Zuckley. I've been here, what, 2nd year? Flying by. And yeah, my favorite is also Turkey Creek. You know, the everything from my daughter playing with the balloons this last year and the dinosaurs, like whoa, to helping to shuttle people back and forth up and down the hill and just kind of meeting everybody. But yeah, love being here and being part of it. Great game.
My name is Evan Quinley. This is actually my last meeting. I don't know, 2019?
Send that emoji.
Yeah, we did. 2019, I think.
Yeah, something like that. 2018.
I'm not sure.
Sorry, yours.
My favorite event is the Turkey Creek Festival, because I get to go out to golf carts.
So the reason it's Evan's last meeting is, as the youth member, we try and capture them early in high school and keep them until they leave us to go to college. And while Evan graduated a year and a half ago, he is officially leaving to go to Pitt State.
It's there.
I only say that because it's the rival conference of my children, so
Which is what?
Northwest Missouri State.
My daughter.
So you're same conference rivals. So anyway,
Both good footballs.
yeah. So anyway,
Thank you, David. Or Evan. George Vessel, beginning my 2nd term in January. My favorite event was probably Halloween happenings, because the kids were just so fired up. Sure.
Yeah.
Whew.
lots of energy.
With a lot of energy. So.
Doug Murphy, I'm Ward 1, I live up just off County Line Road, and happy to be here with you guys.
Welcome. Good.
I'm Katie Leary. I've been on the board since 2014, I think. Yeah, my favorite event at Turkey Creek Festival is always fun. We live right by Merriam. Just walk over and have fun, and it's easy, and well, there's things to help with, but it's it's fun and free. Like there's not a lot of fun free things anymore, so we like that.
I'm Kathy Stahl. I have no idea how long I've been on the board.
Before me.
Before Anna started. So it's been, you said 12 years, maybe 13 or 14 years.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think you started in 10 or 11, 9, somewhere between 9 and 11, I believe.
And I actually enjoy working with the people that come in for the two big art presentations that we have, the high school one and then the other national type one.
Yeah, you're our name tag person for those events. Usually, right?
High
The
school
name
and
tag
Heartland.
person? The Heartland, you usually do the name
Well,
tags?
Kind of hosting.
Yeah.
Greeting people is really what we do.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Alex Supple, been on the board since today.
Today.
Really excited to be here. I do take my kids to the Halloween happenings and they love that. And then there's lots of candy in my house that I have to eat, so that's cool too.
I was on the ski ball.
Okay.
Well, welcome everyone. So glad to have you. Next item on the agenda, public comments. We have a member of the public attending meeting in person. Does our member of the public have any comments tonight? Thank you for attending. For our new members, the public are welcome to record these public committee meetings for their own use, and you will see Mr. Crum at many meetings doing just that. And we welcome his participation in our democratic process in this way. Next up on the agenda, approval of the October 22, 2024 minutes. You received a copy of these minutes in your packet. I presume you have read them. If you have any corrections, edits, or changes you desire to make, please make them known now. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes. I move to approve. A second.
I will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The minutes are approved. Next up, staff reports. The director.
Yes.
Up first.
All right, so included in your packet was a detailed update. As always, I don't like to read this to you, but I do have a few updates to the information that was provided. With the cooler evening and overnight temperatures, we've realized that the doors to the parking tower are not latching properly, and early morning patrons have discovered that we've had some people sleeping in the tower. So we have corrected the latches, they have been fixed, but as a safeguard to ensure that our early morning patrons don't receive a surprise, but also there should be no loitering on city property. Police officers are doing a parole of the area. Did you hear that? Okay, it was me. Great. Anyway, they're doing a parole of the area, but they're also doing the our staff is going out and just working in teams and just checking to make sure the doors are latched. So since that has happened, we haven't had any reports, but we'll continue that just to ensure that the doors are latching properly. And then on yesterday, while we thought the Desert Air unit had a temporary fix of the motor mount, it sounded like an airplane was landing and crashing into the building when the temporary motor mount broke. So we are back to the unit only exhausting at 50%. So if you're downstairs, you will recognize that there's more humidity in the basement, and so we can get that motor mount repair fixed. We have asked our Train vendor, or the vendor that works on it, they work directly with Train. We've asked them to rush the part. In addition, our facilities staff has reached out directly to the Desert Air people and asked them to rush the part. So maybe coming at it from both angles, we'll get a rush on the part. It being a holiday week, I don't know what rush means, but at this point, it was safer just to exhaust at 50%, so we shall see. The membership postcard that you guys approved has been sent to the printer. There will be a little over 11,000 of those mailed for the promotional campaign. That's an increase of 30 records in total. We evaluate that mailing list once a year, so in summer, we'll look at the mailing list again compared to our usage zip codes and see if we need to adjust and pare it down or what we need to do. So we do try and make it a targeted campaign based on service area. I've already told you that tonight is Evan's final meeting. We have been promoting the vacancy. We've known for a little bit that tonight would be Evan's last night. So we have received one application to date, and staff has reached out to our partner at Shawnee Mission North with the NHS. The NHS sponsor. We use a lot of NHS volunteers for several of our smaller special events. So we've reached out to them from a promotional standpoint as well, to see if we can attract additional candidates. Just an update from the Public Art Committee. They met November 14th. The RFQ process for the artwork went live November 1 and will remain live through January 2nd. The selected location is the parking structure at MCC, just as a reminder. And there's just been some recent discussions about the type of project it could be, and then making sure that if it is a mountable piece of work, that the artists include the engineering into their budget, because there would be some codes and engineering things that would have to be evaluated with that. So the committee is doing a good job of being mindful when they start those discussions, what it's gonna include.
Where in the parking
Yeah.
garage?
It's actually, they haven't identified, I didn't see that they identified it, but I believe what they're looking at is anything that's going to slow entry into the parking structure. So we've put the speed bumps down on the lower level. So on that wall, and correct me if, because you do have some knowledge of it, I believe also maybe inside the tower itself that are just gray walls.
Okay.
So wall mounted, just like the library, basically.
Kind of, that's what, they're just being mindful. They haven't
Okay.
selected anything yet. But as they're looking at it, they want to be mindful that the artists are considering those things also to stay code compliant, so.
There was a pretty specific interest
Mm.
Oh, really?
on the committee's part in a different location.
Oh,
really?
okay. That wasn't in the latest meeting minutes, so until, yeah. And until I see more, and I won't be involved until they kind of narrow it down. So I will be involved once we kind of get through this RFQ process.
Well, since it's on this campus or in the parks, will we need to be aware of and or involved in that, even from an information basis?
I will keep you informed. Yeah, I will keep you informed of that. So, I'm happy to entertain any questions or any other comments of anything that was given in the update, if there's any questions.
Can you provide more details on the drama about inflatables at parks?
Well, it kind of just came to us. They reached out to us. I mean, we have an agreement with them, but no place in the agreement does it say that there can or cannot be inflatables. Inflatables are a liability. The vendor we use is very particular about watching wind speed and wind gusts, and she won't put them up. But because JCPRD does not allow them in their own events and in their own, they pretty much just told us no. I mean, it really was no discussion. It was, do you use these? And there was very clear questioning in regards to, do people get in them, or are they like the dinosaurs that just were there? And we're like, well, we do both. And then it came back and said, well, no longer. So that was the extent of the discussion, because it's in their park. We really can't.
But no longer for
negotiate.
both?
No longer for anything that people can climb
Go
on.
in. Oh,
Yeah,
climb on.
so the dinosaurs are fine because they're self-standing and nobody climbs on them. But if you had like a moon,
Or bouncing house.
anything bouncy, anything jousting, anything that somebody would physically get into, they are banning.
But that was already like a policy or a regulation that was already in place.
They had it already and they just looked at it and went, wait, we're not following it here. So they've had some reorganization, and so, over time, things kind of get maybe overlooked or not enforced, or I don't know, we've always had them to my
Right, yeah,
knowledge.
we've always-
So I don't know if it was one of those things that they enforced, but then because of our agreement, it
Yeah.
was never
Somebody,
applied to
did
us.
somebody inquire from the county?
The county contacted us
Oh, they
and
did.
asked what we do, and
Oh.
the person in charge, I believe it's just his second, this would just be he just had his first Turkey Creek Festival this year in 24, so I believe it was kind of one of those things he
Oh.
as we're planning for 25, he's like, wait a second,
We don't do this anywhere
We don't do
else.
this anywhere else.
Why do we let them do it?
he's actually with recreation, he oversees,
Those things.
yes.
Is this something the city would want residents to contact their county commissioners about, to advocate for? Is it something, is the event gonna suffer if we don't have?
We
these
are
features?
fortunate in the fact that Renee will be attending the Missouri State Fairs and Festivals Conference, which last year's was where we got the dinosaur encounter. And she is confident that between the bubble person that we have found, and that we'll be able to fill it with some other activities and events, and we'll have to see what that looks like. But because it is their park and we're the only one that gets to do it.
As a matter of fact, it's our park.
So is it
We're
only
residents
in
of
the park
Johnson
that this is an
County.
issue?
No.
Or is it all through the city?
They don't, it's only at Antioch Park that they will not, because that's the county park.
Right, I know.
So since we don't operate the county park, we have to follow county rules.
Sure.
And we hadn't been following county, they hadn't enforced it, and now they're enforcing
Basically
the
just a
rule.
renter.
Yeah.
We rent the park for our festival.
And I think part of it is people come to the park, they see that we have inflatables, and then they wanna rent it, and they want to bring inflatables in, and they're like, well, wait a second, when we come here for this, they're allowed, but now we're coming here for this, and they're not allowed. So they're just trying to be equitable.
It's very similar to when we used to have the pedal boats, which you only could ride the pedal boats during the festival. It was a huge event. We had a lot of people that loved doing it. We brought pedal boats from other Johnson County Park entities, and then when they bought new boats, the new boats were too heavy, they couldn't transport them, so we couldn't do the pedal boats. And I was like, wow, we have done pedal boats for 30 some years. And I thought we would get a lot of complaints, you know, because it's a special event, but we really didn't. I think Renee does do a good job of adding something different or something to the festival.
So now you fish.
So now you fish, yeah, exactly, yeah.
What about private parties in our parks?
We don't allow them in our parks.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
From the standpoint of accountability and liability.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Any other questions about what was in the director's report that I didn't cover verbally? Seeing none, we'll move on to kind of the membership report. Nothing new to report, these are just numbers and where we're at. Just a reminder, when you look at the total membership sales, it looks a little like we really have hammered 2024, but you'll notice that the silver sneakers and some of the youth, saw youth, some of the other insurance memberships, if you look at those lines, they've significantly increased. There was a tracking thing that happened in 23 a little differently. Those all have to be deactivated and reactivated every year. So in 23, that didn't quite happen the right way. And we'll see a change again in 25 because a significant Advantage plan person is dropping the insurance benefit. And people have told us we have to get new insurance because we really want the insurance benefit. So it'll be interesting to see how those numbers shake out in 25 also. There's not really much there. The visits comparison, I would like to talk about this just from a standpoint of, we've told you since August that day passes haven't exceeded in 24 compared to 23, so August, September, and October. Those day passes have not exceeded 23. I am happy to report that we have exceeded 23 for 24 already. November of this year, we've already exceeded what we did in November of 2023 for day passes. So the trend has reversed itself. It might be a window of time. The weather might have been different. So it'll just be something we watch for that 3-month time frame if we see that trend dip again. But it is something that I like to make sure that you know that we are watching. We are anticipating membership visits to surpass 2023 this week, if we haven't already done it. At the beginning of the week, we were like 650 membership visits short of 2023. We have been averaging an increased visitation of 46 per day this year compared to last year. So we've been averaging 336 visits per day from members, where last year we were at 290 per day. So membership visits and visitation is strong this month. We are excited about that. Any questions about memberships or visitation?
Thank you.
Mhm.
Now, are we moving on to the assistant director?
Okay,
Sir
Halloween happenings.
Small.
Evaluation was in your packet. I just wanted to point out that the weather was absolutely gorgeous and we had the most kids we've ever had. So that's two pluses. In fact, in so much that I think they didn't completely run out of candy, but they almost ran out of candy. So next year they will obviously have a little bit more candy. And then the only other thing that said that some of their volunteers, they were lacking. They could use a few more volunteers. That didn't mean, please don't read into that it meant this board, because George volunteered another. We just need to get some more volunteers. Sometimes we have the honor society kids volunteer. So we'll continue to try to get a few more volunteers to that event. But yeah, just a great event. Does anybody have any questions about Halloween happenings? Okay. Then for
Oh wait, George.
I was just going to suggest, David, I was on the skee ball game, and some kids got a little over enthusiastic and threw the ball, and then it went into the parking lot. So putting the skee ball on the other side of the marketplace, so that me or somebody else chasing down the ball doesn't get hit by traffic. Because there was still traffic on that other side.
Sure,
On that,
sure.
what's it, the west side or whatever.
They seem to believe the game was make the old man run.
Right.
No, that is not the
Oh,
game.
man.
But, no, the station I was operating.
Oh,
So we,
yeah.
back in the
Christopher
day.
was there too.
Back in the day, we did pumpkin bowling, where we just basically had regular bowling pins, and then we rolled a pumpkin, and then they were bowling, right? Which sounds like a fun game, and it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. But you've got to reset all 10 pins for every child, and so yeah, we were strong out of the gate. But yeah, after a
Yeah,
while.
fun. I mean, had kids come back 5-6 times.
Yeah, good. Yeah, well, they enjoyed that game.
Well, they would like to watch me.
Yeah. Well, thank you very
But it
much.
was fun.
Do
It was
appreciate
a
you
lot of fun.
volunteering.
Kids had fun. Did
Appreciate
you go buy skee ball?
We did.
Okay. Was I okay?
You did great. I was impressed.
Constructive criticism is good.
Good. Next thing's just some upcoming events we just want to make you all aware of. We kind of have a very busy week coming up. We have a high school visual arts competition. This is one of my favorite events because we have over 20-some metro high schools that participate in the high school art show, and it's kind of the future of art. You can see some very talented students. For those of you that are new, we erect a portable art wall, so we're able to double the space and basically display about 100 works. So it's a very special night. The kids get to come with their parents, and it's a very fun evening. If you'd like to, it's the first Thursday, December 5th.
I tried to volunteer, but Ingrid already was full of volunteers.
Oh,
That was good.
Okay. We'll keep you as an
You can
alternate.
always attend and just be a goodwill
You can
ambassador.
always attend and then help
I
me with
told
the food.
Ingrid that I might be there to qualify that.
Yeah.
I always take help with the food because they wipe us out quick.
Yeah, it's an awesome event. So that is the Thursday, and then that Friday we have Christmas in the Courtyard, where we light all the city buildings. A small fraction of the plaza lighting, but it's just our little building. The police station, parking structure, and City Hall. So we'll be doing that at 6:30, and we have some events and some treats. So it's always a fun event. 6:30 to 8 o'clock.
And you will see Christmas trees go up Monday in this building. We try hard to respect the Thanksgiving holiday and not push it too fast, so.
And then also for the new folks, we just want to let you know that we did ask the library if they wanted to participate because their building is on our campus. Unfortunately, they don't light any of their libraries, so they will not be participating in the actual lighting of their building.
Yeah, I see Santa's coming in on fire truck.
So we do have a new Santa, yes. So we normally had Santa come in on his tractor pulled sleigh, but we have a different Santa, so he will come in on the fire truck.
So his arrival will be a little bit faster.
Quite a bit faster, yes.
And louder me.
So I've worked here many moons, so when I was in charge of the event, we did have Santa come in on the fire truck, and one of my favorite pictures of all time was Santa came in on the fire truck. All the kids were excited, so they kind of bum rushed him, and so as he came down the fire truck, he was giving them out, giving gifts out, and someone had climbed on top of the fire engine and took a picture, and it literally looked like a Where's Waldo picture, because you see Santa and just this mass of kids, and it's one of my favorite pictures. But
It wasn't you that climbed the ladder.
it was no.
Is it
Guilty
volunteer
as
for that? Is that
charged.
what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I don't like ladders or heights. But yeah, anyway, so. Any questions about any of those upcoming events? Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, Breakfast with Santa, the trifecta. Saturday morning, this event is completely sold out. It's your chance to have breakfast with Santa Claus and have some pancakes, and also a very fun event.
Is it a Chris Cakes thing?
No,
It's two men and a girl.
Two guys in a grill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's two guys.
but similar.
But you're doing the Boy Scouts this year.
But that's right, it is
Yeah.
Boy Scouts. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep,
it
yep,
is,
yeah, you
it
understand.
is,
Thank
sorry.
you.
It used to be.
It used to be two guys in a grill. Yeah, thank you. The Scouts, yeah. Okay.
The next up, farmer's market.
Yeah, so, Kathy, I think you asked that you were interested in
Yeah.
some information about the meeting. So Ingrid kind of provided her notes. There looked like there was about 9 vendors, 7 or 8, 9 vendors that attended. And really the only thing that was what I think would be major, not major, but the market is currently 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they thought that maybe 8 a.m. They don't get very many shoppers from 7 to 8. And so they thought maybe we may pull all the rest of the vendors and see if maybe 8 a.m. might be a better start time.
Are you
I'm
gonna
sorry.
do that, or?
Well, they're out of the seasoned vendors, we had less than half. So I think they suggested it. So I think we would want to make sure and poll everyone and see if that's something that they would want to do. I'm much more in favor of starting an hour later than closing an hour, because some markets do go till noon. Unfortunately, I don't like that because vendors tend to try to pack up early anyway. So if it's 1 o'clock and they start packing up at 12:15, if it was noon, they'd start packing up at 11:15. So I think if you were going to condense the hours at all, you would want to do the earlier time rather than the later time. So,
Any questions about?
any
Did we
questions?
do T-shirts last year for everybody that was a vendor?
Yeah, we've been doing that for, well, Ingrid's done it every year, and I think I did a year or two when I was in charge of the market. So we've probably been doing it for about 6 or 7 years. Last year, of course, it was the 25th anniversary year, so it kind of had a different logo. I'll see what she goes back with in 2025. But they are extremely popular, and it is really nice to see all the vendors because they wear their shirts. They're very proud of them, and so it's kind of neat to look down the market and you see the vendors wearing their shirts, and if they wear their shirts, then people see them at the store, and it's free advertising.
So next year vendors will be setting up at 7, but open for business at 8.
Correct.
Well,
If
we
that-
haven't
if-
decided
We haven't
that.
decided that, but yeah, that would be the
That's the
MO.
tentative
We
schedule.
tentatively,
Or perhaps schedule.
about an hour before our staff show up,
Okay.
and then they start setting up their booths, so it's usually about an hour, yeah. Some people can do it faster than others, but it's usually about an hour.
Excellent. Any
Kathy, was there
questions?
anything else that you wanted to, about the meeting? Okay.
No, I just wanted to report on it, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Next up, new business. Can walk us through
Yes,
this.
I will. So our next meeting is regularly scheduled for January 28th. That day is the start of the KRPA annual conference. And that day, several people from the city will be receiving awards. And I have a presentation at 4 o'clock scheduled in the afternoon, and it's in Manhattan. So I'm pretty sure that my presentation is scheduled from 4 to 5. Dave needs to go for CEUs. There is absolutely no way I can get back here for a 6 o'clock meeting. So I would like to have a discussion about what you would like to do in regards to that meeting, because obviously without staff here, it's kind of impossible to have the meeting. I'm open to moving the meeting, whatever you guys, if we can come to a consensus tonight. But we need to make a decision tonight since we don't have a December meeting. But this happens every 2 or 3 years. It will fall right on our meeting. So normally I don't attend KRPA, but I put in to do a presentation. I'm doing a presentation on the journey of this building and how this building came to be. There's been a lot of inquiries as to how we did it faster than other cities. So
Can you remind some of us what KRPA is?
It's Kansas Recreation Parks Association. It is our state association for.
And you should attend and represent the city of Merriam. We have an opportunity either to move to another evening that week, meet the prior week, or another evening of the prior week, depending on what's of interest to this body. I think there's what Evan thinks because he will be here.
I was thinking 10 o'clock that night.
Excellent. We'll be here
I could be back by 10. You are correct. I could be back.
lead the meeting for us then. So any voices of interest in one direction or another? I think we should meet.
I do
in
too.
January.
We actually have someone that already has asked to be on the agenda.
I could meet the Wednesday instead of that week.
I believe I could likewise.
So then the following day, the 29th. I could do that.
I can do that.
I also wanted to add, Anna will not toot her own horn, but she will be receiving an award for the rec branch leadership.
You can bring all the awards.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
And
exciting.
ribbons and.
Yes. Hardware,
plaques.
yes.
All the hardware.
Clunking
Summary
on
of
the
the
ta-
entire.
Yeah, copy of your speech.
Clunking on the table.
I don't get to give my presentation, yes, but I don't get to give a speech for that.
Accept
Well,
the speech.
maybe you could present for us excerpts from your presentation. We'll be very eager.
Yes.
I could give you the, 22 slide
Yeah.
slide
Or
deck.
could it be recorded and we could post it? Yeah, the citizens of Merriam to
Yeah,
enjoy.
edit it down to 6.
So we floated the idea of shifting our meeting for the month of January 2025 to Wednesday the 29th. Does that meet with the satisfaction of most of our members, if not all?
Yes.
Motion and.
Then I entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll move our meeting from the 20th to the 29th of January at same time.
Very good. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The meeting is moved. Thank you.
And I will get that set up in our agenda system, and I will notify the one person that has contacted me and make sure that they know to come to that meeting instead.
No other scheduled meeting here on that day.
If we, no, it shouldn't be. And if it is, we'll just move to a different location
Okay.
within the building.
Outside.
I'll let you know, I'll let you know.
Sit by the pool.
I'll let you know if this room is not available, I will let you know.
Okay.
Were you looking for, you would trump them and they would.
There's a party room.
Yeah.
If the answer had been somebody's in here, then I have to consider
All right, next,
consequences.
review of our annual election protocol.
Yes, so, per our guideline, our bylaws, at this meeting, we will be electing the chairperson and vice chairperson. Per the rules of order, it is important that we know what the nomination process is and what the election process is. So, I included in your packet the review. It is up here on the television screen as well. So just so that we all know, we will nominate from the floor. Each position will have a separate nomination process. The nominations will be brought forth by any member. A member should know beforehand if he or she wishes to be nominated, is eligible to serve. So the only one not eligible tonight is Evan. A person may nominate themselves. A member cannot nominate more than one person for an office until everyone has the opportunity to make nominations. The presiding chairperson can continue presiding even if they are one of the nominees of the office. A member can decline the nomination during the nomination process. After each nomination, the chairperson will repeat the name for the members and ask for further nomination. At the completion of the process, the election of the candidates will occur by voice vote for each position. If more than one person has been nominated, the chairperson will take the vote on candidates in the order in which they were nominated. Members must remember to vote yes for the candidate they want and vote no for the other candidates. The first candidate to receive a majority of the vote wins. In the event of a tie, members keep voting until someone is elected. At the conclusion of the voting process, the chairperson officially announces the results of the vote. So that is the process. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Christopher to run the election.
Thank you very much. At this time, I welcome nominations from any of our current members for an individual to serve as chair. I'll start. I nominate George Vessel to serve as chair of the Park and Recreation Advisory Board for the coming year. Nominated, George Vessel. Any other nominations?
One S.
Vessel. Hearing no other nominations, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of Mr. Vessel serving as chair of the Park and Recreation Advisory Board for the coming term, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. The yeses carry. Mr. Vessel is elected to the office of chairperson to assume the role at the official meeting in January 2025.
Starting Monday late next year.
Yes. Yeah. I'll now entertain nominations for the office of vice chairperson. The singular duty of this position is to preside at these meetings in event of the absence of the chairperson. Do I hear any nominations for vice chairperson?
I will nominate Mr. Christopher Leach.
Do we hear, Mr. Christopher Leach has been nominated for vice chairperson. Do we hear any other nominations for that position? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All those in favor of Christopher Leach serving in the position of vice chair for the Park and Recreation Advisory Board for the 2025 term, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Those carried. Mr. Leach will begin his term as vice chair at the January 29, 2025 meeting of this board. Thank you all for participating in the election process.
Very smart. Love it.
Now, Evan is still eligible to be chosen for the board in the future at some time, right?
Yes, he would be no longer as a youth member. He would have to live in Merriam, and he would then serve as an adult role.
If he hasn't learned his lesson already. Over the past 5 years.
It's a heavy
This position.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You have to be chosen.
That's true.
There's a stringent review process. Number 6, other business. We have an updated advisory board roster.
Yes, so because we've added a few people to this is for my members to have updated contact information. I have removed Evan from the paper.
It's official.
Sorry, it's official. It's official. This way you guys have updated contact information for everybody that is now appointed to the board. When we replace youth member, I will provide an updated copy, but also it's on the fancy letterhead now too.
Yeah.
There's a blank there for youth representative, just like your mine. So sad.
Okay, boys.
So sad.
So sad.
Is there any other business to come before this? Hearing none,
Thanks for the time.
Oh, yeah, excuse me.
Thank you.
Speech.
Good to have you on.
Yeah.
Can we have a round of applause? In appreciation of service, as our youth representative,
Oh, yeah.
bringing a fresh, youthful perspective to our work.
Yes.
Did you have something else?
Yes, just really quickly, I wanted to let everyone know that as of last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we were able to get Waterfall Park safety surface repaired.
Oh, yes.
This was a process that's tried to get fixed since July, and the contractor that we normally have fix our playground structures, that's done our playgrounds, just run around, short crew, blah, 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 can't get there, maybe this week, blah, blah, blah. And so I finally did something I don't like to do. I just said, I will go somewhere else. So contacted another vendor. Vendor was able to come in, get the safety surface repaired. So I'm just happy to let you know that it's repaired. Normally these things would take a couple weeks or maybe a month, but with perseverance and having just basically go somewhere else, we were able to finally get it fixed, and it's fixed.
How weather dependent is that?
What's that?
How weather dependent?
We have to be
Very,
above
yeah,
45
yeah.
degrees, so we were nearing the window of not being able to get it done.
Yeah.
So
Glad we got it done before winter.
yeah, typically there's a crew that goes around and installs safety surface. Like if we were going to replace ours, it'd be $40,000 or $50,000. So there are crews that go out and they basically go from town to town doing this type of work. So a little repair is kind of, not to say it's lower on their priority, but they kind of do it as needed. And so we just ran into a situation where the crews were just really busy and they just couldn't get to us, and I finally said, well, I need it repaired. So if you can't fix it, I'll go to your competitor, sorry. But we were able to get it fixed, so.
But yes, it was comparable, and the competitor also gave us a different idea to address the vandalism at Brown
At
Park.
Brown Park, yeah, so. Yeah.
What was the idea?
Paint it.
Just to fight paint with paint.
Oh.
So they vandalized it with spray paint, so we'll be spray painting, but we'll do a kind of a fun design, so.
There's a graffiti seal that you could put on, like a spray that you can put on.
Yeah, we have graffiti remover that for all the structural parts of the playground took it right off. But the safety surface, because of its rubber and bonding agent and everything, it's a little trickier beast. So, like you can't just power wash it like you would something else. But so they just recommended what they're doing in other cities is just painting over it. Now I hope that I'm not. Once we paint over it, it just gives them, oh, I have a new palette to write more graffiti on. I hope that's not the case, but I think we're going to do that and give that a try and see how it goes. This stuff is super expensive. We're talking probably $4,000 to repair what that person did. So it's extremely expensive stuff.
Has
So
there been an increase overall in the county for this type of graffiti? I just seen other news articles on like other places, and I didn't know if there's a trend.
I mean, we, knock on wood, we've been very lucky here in Merriam that we do get tagged often, on the trail and bridges and all of the popular places, but it's really not been too bad.
It comes in waves,
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
usually in the summer when they get bored.
Yeah.
That's what their signs are being.
Well, what's funny was when we put in the playground wasn't up but 2 weeks, and the kids had taken ketchup, like giant ketchup containers, and they put ketchup on any flat surface of the playground, like the steps, the slide, swing, anything that was flat, they completely ketchuped. Which I think took a lot of ketchup. Yeah, I don't know what it was. But so we had to bring the water truck with the water hose and spray it all out, and clean it all up.
Did they come back with mustard?
I know exactly.
Is there any other detail to add to your report?
No, I'm finished.
Thank you very much. Now I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna see you all in January.
Happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving,
Bring
happy
your gavel.
holidays.
Yeah, January 29th.
You'll remind me, right? I will. I'm actually, what I think I'm gonna do is I will send you a meeting invite through Outlook. So, just so that it populates your calendars, that will be my reminder, if that's okay with everybody. Just remember when you reply, do not reply all. That's a rule. No replying all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks for being here.
contact.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, nothing like coming and like, okay, 2 months off, and I can do that.
We'd like to ease you in.
Exactly.
What?
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Plenty of
Both staircases. So there's a railing.
In the parking lot?
Inside the, by the elevator, there's a railing area. It's like unusable because there's a railing like blocking it off. And they're thinking of putting something in there, like behind the railing.
How's the lighting?
Not great, but I assume that'd be part of the project. And then the big staircase outside as well.
Are you on the committee?
No, but I've been there. If you want to search it on YouTube, you'll find it. It's a search for Merriam Art Committee. It's the most recent one I uploaded.
Since I'm not here tomorrow.
Yep.
More you guys
There's
about
the
the,
pet drinking
schedule.
fountain.
So, here.
Yeah. Since I'm not here tomorrow,
Lynn said,
it'll just say.
with a wiggle, it will turn on. I don't know if that's the best.
No, it's the most annoying.
Did you know that the company is most dependable fountains? Most dependable fountains, that's the name of
That's
the
the
company.
name of the
Or
company.
mostly.
Mostly.
Usually dependable.
Sometimes dependable.
Occasionally.
Sort of.
Most is
I don't
not.
trust, if I still have
Most is pretty
contact.
strong.